concern already, and the floor is open for any member to raise concern, any concern.
As a matter of procedure, please identify yourself, the network that you represent, and the member of the board you would like to direct your concern to. Anyone who would like to start the ball rolling? Yes? Reno, you wanted to... Yeah, okay. Say Reno. Reno is recognized.
Can we ask the age first before so that we know who to recognize first?
If only to set the motion for everybody to ask questions. Maybe allow me to just express some thoughts. To me, the KBP is like love. It's a many splendid thing. Like, thank you. Mamaya pa. Like today, we're at this forum, this annual forum, to resolve some of the industry concerns, to meet old friends, and to meet new friends. Did you know that 60 to 70% of our attendees today are from the ages 25 to 40? Mga bata sila, palakpakan natin. Now, the talents of this group put together and into action can assure the outgoing generation to lead KBP to success. Diba? Now, in the middle of this optimism, there are some details, some little things that sometimes we tend to take too much for granted. For example, days are gone when every radio TV station would announce during their hourly break, "This station is a proud member of the KBP." Nawawala na po yun. Diba? Even the giant networks do not anymore air such things. I was monitoring one time, and I would like to congratulate some of our members. Would you believe the religious stations are airing this? The Far East Broadcasting Network, the Iglesia ni Cristo. Unfortunately, Radio Veritas, hindi ko narinig. That's why, anyway, I'm not saying they are not airing it. These are the little things I would like to, bring to the attention of the new leadership, parang food for thought. The other one, the declining number of chapters, KBP chapters. In banking, in radio, TV broadcasting, you can only become powerful if you are a network. Maybe that is one of the reasons why we have not done or could have taken steps to make this organization much better than the years before. Marami mong chapter head na nawawala. I was in Lawat, I was in Naga on my own, I was in Cebu. Huwag na tayo magmalayo-malayo. Manila, which was then the model KBP chapter of the industry, wala na po. Okay. The other food for thought I would like to take up is maybe, an organization can grow and should grow, must grow. Our bylaws, I think, need to be revisited. There are provisions there that have been irrelevant. Maybe we should revisit, review, and come up with new provisions that are relevant to our times. And of course, maybe this is just an unsolicited advice.
Rino, just on the bylaws, are you referring to the corporate bylaws or the broadcast code?
Well, you are asking me for an example provision?
No. I'm asking. Yeah, I'm asking you. Is it the revision of the bylaws or the broadcast code?
Amendment. The bylaws of the KBP.
Bylaws of the KBB.
Yes, yes.
It would be helpful, I think, for us if you were to specify specifically what provisions you think are not relevant anymore.
Okay, maybe without offense meant to the leadership, maybe let us review the terms of the officers of the KBP. Maybe it should be a 3-year term, so we will only have elections every 3 years. Maybe we should have another re-election after the first term, at the end of the 6th or 2nd term, pahinga na muna, so we can give way to the young leaders composing the 60% of the attendees today. Yun lang po. I'm sure you people will just take this as an advice, no? So that is one. The other thing I would like to take up, the Board of Trustees of the KBP is the super policy-making body, just like any corporation. Now, it can only exercise its policies more effectively, more competently, through the standing committees. The standing committees are provided for in our bylaws. They are headed by every member of the board, and their membership is composed of you, all of us. We can join them. That is where we can reactivate the activities of the policies that have been passed by the board. We will not allow the members of the board are not the one who should be implementing. It should be the standing committee. So that is one thing I would like, because there are many of us here who would like to be involved in these committees, but they did not have the opportunity to do so. So finally, my friends, please do not take offense, no? Ako naman alam nyo, I'm transparent, I'm very frank. Kung gusto nyo kwentuhan tayo dito, the whole day, yung katatawanan, I am also for that. Pero when it comes to some serious matter, you can count on me. Let us not walk in the park, let us walk the talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Reaction from the chair.
Well, those are very insightful suggestions. Thank you, Rino. The number one, the mandatory announcement of stations as KBP members, that is very good because it definitely will help in promoting recall of our organization, and I think a lot of us are guilty of that. Perhaps, Rino, if you can make a motion to make this a mandatory requirement for all members to make to make that announcement mandatory.
Mr. President, I'm glad you took cognizance of that. No, what I can suggest is to throw back the issue to you. Let us reactivate the standing committee. Halimbawa, the committee on whatever internal affairs. Let that committee take care of that. Whatever committee, to announce to all the members, to produce even maybe a new version of that thing, no? Maring ano na yan, yung luma na eh. It may have been so old. So, maybe yun, sa mga committee natin ibigay.
Okay, so that there's no motion na. Yes, Father Wong.
I guess, first, it doesn't mean that just because we don't say proud, every station ID, like sa Radio Veritas, Rino, kung makinig ka naman, ay member ng KBP. We are not a proud, but rather humble member of KBP. So it's a member of KBP, not necessarily saying that we are very proud of that, but it's still as a member of KBP. So please monitor also Radio Veritas more often.
Still, I think the point raised by Rino is that if you just scan the band, there are a lot of stations that are not announced or making that as part of their announcement. Yes, Mr. EVP.
I think we can do that, but there has to be a different way of doing it, because if you notice, like TV stations no longer air regular station IDs. And you can ask Director Cookie later how they do it. Kasi ngayon parang mabilisan na. It's no longer like before that every 30 minutes there is a station ID on television. And even on radio, especially in the FM band, we do not follow anymore the usual clock hour airing of the station IDs. Dati kasi standard on the top of the hour, on the 30-minute mark of the hour, we air. Now, there are different ways of airing the station IDs. Probably we have to be more creative in how we can inject the station claiming to be a member of the KBP. But I support Mr. Rino Basilio's sentiment. We should be really be proud of being a KBP member.
Thank you for that, Francis. But maybe it should not be a straight-jacket decision. We can do other things like schedule it on an ROS basis. At any time of the hour, you can come up with a clock. This station is a so-and-so and so. Diba? You don't have to be strictly on the hour,
Okay, the suggestion of Venus just for probably the board to review what we do now, and the board will come up with a suggestion which can present to the next in the next GMM for us to adopt it as a full body. Okay, so let's leave that. The others are declining members in the chapters. I think Rino wants that to be a concern to be addressed by the Internal Relations Committee. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
That's a good point, Mangrino, the chapters being mentioned. But there were, of course, efforts from the KBP the past year, a few months, to reactivate and get the chapters involved in our activities. And we have noticed that if there is a common project, the members, the chapters, seem to also get rejuvenated. As proven, for example, sa tree planting natin, I was surprised that there were 37 chapters who joined in. So maybe, with your suggestion, taking into account, we'll have more common efforts, projects that will involve again all the chapters. Kasi kung may project na gusto na samahan, sumasama rin sila. So we'll take that suggestion into account using this, combining this with the projects the programs that we have in the KBP.
Thank you.
Sir Rino, actually meron tayong bagong nilabas na chapter manual. Actually ngayong year lang natin nailabas to. Ito yung parang guide ng chapter para sa pag-operate mismo sa area nila. And yung ibang, we have a chapter leader conference naman every year na ginagawa, doon natin pinag-uusapan yun at pinagtutulong-tulungan kung paano mabubuo yung mga ibang areas na kulang.
I just remembered, there was, and unfortunately I failed to include in my report yesterday, there was an initiative by the Internal Relations Committee and the Secretariat to incentivate chapters. We've already actually issued a circular where we incentivate chapters. It's a chapter award program where each chapter is enticed to be more active, and the most active chapters in terms of regular monthly meetings and projects and so forth and so on will get recognition plus some monetary reward. So there's some initiative towards that.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Now, let's 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. This morning, our lady member of the SA, the Dean of the Mass Communication UP, invited us to sit down and write history about KBP. Napakaganda po. I would like to share this with you. So, she invited me because in this room, we have 2 surviving founding members of the KBP. I would like to call the attention of Mr. Nonong Galvez. Asan siya? Dahil sa katandaan niya, natutulog na siguro. Okay. You know, Nonong and I were counting the surviving members for the information of the young ones. 5 na lang kami. Emil Jurado, the first chairman of the KBP. Romy Halusos, the 6th man. He was the one who initiated with the top-level convention. He was the one who created the acronym TLMC. He was the one who created the broadcaster. So, the other one is,
logo.
of course, Nonong Galvez.
The logo was si Halos, di ba?
Romy Halusos.
Yung KBP logo.
Logo.
Yeah.
Well, the logo, asan si Lito Yabo? Lito? I was then with Nation Broadcasting. We had an artist. He is the one who drew that. Nation Broadcasting should be given the credit for that. Meron pa yung isa sa BMC, what was abolished by government. But yan design na yan, ginawa ng Nation Broadcasting. Wala si Lito? Sayang, sana pinalakpakan natin. No? So, back to the history. Because there was a vague idea among a lot of us, even the public, how KBP got into what it is today. Ang sabi nila, yan ay creation ng martial law. That is the dominant impression. Hindi po totoo yan. I am here. Nonong Galvez confirmed that. Leonie Galang, who was with us, confirmed that. Anyway, the history to be formalized by... Palakpakan naman natin si Dean. Madaming police yan. Okay. He took this initiative to write history, to straighten out wrong notions about the KBP. So yan po, kanina diyan, nag-picture taking pa kami. And fortunately, I have with me in my room, bibigay ko kay Dean, yung picture naming original KBP, martial law KBP, na kinulong kami doon sa DAP. Sino kasama doon? DAP. Wala na.
Medyo tulog na lahat, Rino.
Kinulong kami doon sa DAP. I have the picture. Asan si Mrs. Gozon? Nandun si Bobby, your husband. Kaya na, nandun si Bobby sa retrato. Diba? Okay. What I'm saying, this is a little of history. I would like to pass this information to the young ones especially. So, we give that credit to Madam Feliciano of the College of Mascom, UP. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po ito. And thank you, Dean Rose Feliciano, for the initiative. I'm sure the entire board will be very supportive of this project. Very important project so that we can write the true story of KBP. Diba? Okay. Attorney Kapugawan is recognized.
Magandang hapon po. This is, I think, my 8th years na ba ako attendance?
Yes, para you can remember.
Ang katotohanan po medyo up to now. Nangangapapa ako. I don't know the composition of the committees. I have never read a formal report of any committee. And I do not know who are the chairman and members of any committee. Nangangapa po ako. One committee that I consider would be a very good committee ay yung RRC pero nagkakandak ng survey. Ilang beses tayo nag-survey. I would like to find out kung sino yung mga members ng committee, sino. Chairman, how many times did they meet? How did they come about with the survey, etc., etc. Ako po gusto matuto. The first time I attended the convention in Cloud, you gave us a seat. What committee are you interested in? Nagsabit akong pangalan. Wala. Second year, another paper. Every year thereafter. And then finally I asked Rino, nagsasabit naman ako ng my choice committee. Sabi ni Rino, wala yan. The usual committee. Rino, basta wala yan, nasa wish basket yan. Pagka ngayon magbibigay na naman ng sheet of paper, apply naman ako as a member of the committee, baka mag-waste basket na ako naman. I still believe that maybe we can have a fresh direction after this election. I think we can set a standard for a committee to follow and come up with very meaningful results. I would say that the PR committee will be a very critical committee because that's something to do of image building. I'd like to find out who are the chairmen of all of this standing committee. If you can tell us that. Sino sila? And what would be the output of these committees? What would be the output of these committees?
The question is who are the chairman of the committee?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. I don't memorize all of them, but what I can recall, Attorney, are number one, the Internal Relations Committee is Abet Sikat. The Technical Committee is Erwin. The Research Committee, which you cited earlier, is Butch Canoy. The Government Relations Committee and External Government Relations Committee is our chairman. The External Relations Committee is Atom. The Awards and Recognitions Committee is Lito Yabot. The Anniversary Committee is Abet Chua and Abet Sikat. Mukhang ching lang kasi. Abet Sikat. Of course, the TLMC committee is like it's always the executive vice president who heads the TLMC committee. I have the unfortunate of the Ways and Means Committee, and then of course the
Program standard.
The Finance Committee is headed always by the Treasurer. The Program Standards Committee is usually headed by both the TV is the VP TV, and for radio it's the VP Radio. The Legal Committee is usually headed by the President, but operationally we ask the Legal Counsel to always be involved in the Legal Committee. But
by the way, it's very good because every year, at the start of the year, we always we pass a circular, those who would like to be members of these committees. So we did that this year, and we hope that those who really signed up for the committees will be active. But there are a lot of committees also that were not filled up because the members themselves did not sign up. So next time that we meet, perhaps we could again start the signing up so that we could really move on.
But Attorney Capugaon mentioned that he always signs up for the committee, but is never called upon to join the meetings of the committee. I'm really...
Gusto ko matuto eh.
I'm sorry, Attorney.
I want to learn and maybe contribute a little.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Attorney Capugaon, the policy, I think, of the KBP is in fact maximum participation by the members.
I think that should be
yes.
That should be the case, Mr. President.
Yes, absolutely. Because in fact, as our chairman is saying, the work in the KBP actually is done less by the officers, but more by the committees. The committees are the ones doing most of the job. The best example, of course, is the SA. No, the SA is a committee, but it's a very powerful committee, and it does a lot of work. So we'll try to find out why you have not been called upon to attend meetings, and I think you're right. That's a concern that should be rectified right away. I'm really at a loss, and I can't answer you why you're not called to. If you volunteer, you should be. If there's a meeting of the committee, you volunteer, you should be called upon to attend those meetings. But rest assured, we'll try and rectify that concern.
Can we just clarify which committee you signed up for, Panyero?
I forgot already, compañero. I've been signing every year. Sometimes I forget because I'm almost like Mr. Basilio. But anyway, I'm not saying that I'm good in organization. Medyo meron tayong naintindihan ng konti, compañero. And I was hoping that maybe I would contribute a little my humble experience in organization. Kaya medyo excited ako noon. Oh, this is the best organization I'll ever join. Medyo, alam mo, kaming dalawa ko, meron kaming doon sinasabi na Kirochi ka ba? Kaparo Kirochi. Kiwanyang, Rotariang, Layong o JC. Kirochi o JC. I think I joined all organizations. And this is where you develop volunteerism. And this is my final organization because to me, I think this is a good exemplary. We are supposed to be the fourth state, compañero. Fourth state. Part of government, but not formally affiliated with government. But anyway, that's beside the point. Tapos niya. Every year, tapos na rin. Baka mag-file naman ako, sabi na naman ni Basilio sa akin, nakawin sa basket. But anyway, parte ng kanya. That's a gamble that job. You're doing.
Siguro,
This the appointment to appointment ng chairman among board of trustees ng or member can be nominated to the chairman of the committee. Because if it is allowed, I'd like to make a motion that maybe we consider Mr. Basilio as a maybe chairman of the standing committee. That's only what we're after. Maybe make a particular standing committee a truly working, output-oriented committee. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Attorney Reg,
Yes,
the points raised already to be taken seriously, no? That's why we have to review the system. So I have had some observations on this committee. I will suggest siguro, because this has happened before, this was raised before, and I am sure I can recall that there were names that have been considered in the committee. Siguro ayusin na natin yung sistema so that yung mga schedules maayos, may meeting maka-attend. Yun siguro ang ayusin natin because I am sure that when this was raised, that was taken into account also. Pero because of the system maybe, lack of follow-up, lack also of attention given by us in the board, and also by those interested in the committee to also follow up, siguro ayusin na natin yan. We may suggest also that siguro next time around, if there's something that we will miss in the board, let's not wait for the top-level management conference to raise issues. No, you can bring it up any time of the month, any time of the year, any time of the day para kung makalimutan natin, we're just human, ma-consider natin then mabigyan natin ng nakakarapat na action. All of the points are well taken.
Okay, then I'm hearing some suggestions here with regard to the concern of Attorney Cafugao. Maybe our EVP can mention this suggestion.
Thank you, Mr. President, or incoming chair. Probably during the organizational meeting of the board, when we discussed the committee chairmanships, by then we should already have an idea of who are those who are interested to join our committee so that we can already include them in our plans. Probably we can start this by December, so that by January we can already have a list of those who have signified their intention to join any particular committee. Of course, we welcome members in the committees. Dahil sa totoo po, mahirap yung trabaho ng committee, especially kung tatlo lang kayo, o dadalawa lang kayo. We really need a lot of people to join us in like committees like the anniversary committee, where we involve a lot of people because there are activities like the the bowling or the sports activities. We need a lot of people to help us do these projects. Thank you.
Yeah, just before we leave this this item, I was just thinking another maybe change in the way we report to the members. Right now, kasi when we report, in the GMM, when you make the report of what's happened, it's just one person, which is the president, that reports all the activities. So maybe in the future GMMs, we will ask each of the committees to make the reports on updates on their individual committees. Because parang the impression that the members are seeing right now is that walang ginagawa ang committees because they're not reporting. It's just the reports are all being made by the president. But the truth is, when the president makes the report, is actually reporting the work of the various committees. But I think in order to have transparency and there's no filtration of information between the committee work and the members, perhaps a change in what we do is that the committee heads themselves will be required to present to the general membership the results of their work every GMM. Hindi naman siguro lahat ng committees kailangan mag-report every GMM, but all the committees that have significant updates to be reported or to be explained to the general membership. So maybe that's one way of addressing the concern of Attorney Cabudao as well. Okay. Any other concerns? Madam Chair of the SA.
We have been receiving circulars from the board regarding the application of some KBP members for new stations. Now, our new member of the board, Mr. Luxin, went there to post the application of a member. And then he was told by the NTC that the reason why they continue to grant permits or construction permits is that because KBP has not given them a feasibility study or viability study as to how many stations can a broadcast area absorb. So this being the case, they just keep on giving and granting permits and at the same time destroying the viability, especially of the small member networks. So I would like to request if we could have that. We had that many years ago that was done by SGB. Maybe that would help us for the industry to be healthier. And we are not against the opening, provided the market can still absorb the new station.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I can just address that. There was an attempt probably about 8 years ago to revive that SGB study. No? There was and it's the same concern that we don't have any say with regard to the financial feasibility because we don't have information, unfortunately. The SGB study was conducted back in the 70s, and the information that SGB had at that time is obviously not relevant anymore. So about 8 years ago, if you recall, we attempted to do the same thing by collecting data on the size of the market for each of the broadcast area. And the procedure, in fact, was not for KBP because of confidentiality reasons. The data is supposed to be collected by a third party, our auditor. Unfortunately, only, if I recall correctly, only about 27% of the members submitted data. So we could not complete the data for each of the markets. The reason that a lot of members did not submit their data is because of, as I said, confidentiality reasons. They were fearful that this information will be used against them either by competitors or by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. But I agree with you, Madam Chair. We were the proponent of that. We wanted to push it. Our network submitted information. But as I said, the data cannot be completed because there were very, very few networks who submitted the information. Without the information, it's very difficult for us to determine which of these markets are already saturated and which of the markets are still open for more stations. So if it's the wish of the membership to pursue this, by all means, I think a lot of them. In fact, it was the board at that time was supportive of that move. So if that is something that the general membership feels strongly that it's a project that we should pursue, then we have to make a commitment to comply with the requirement to come up with the information. Did I address your concern, Madam Chair? So that will be discussed in the board and will be presented to the general membership. If everybody is agreeable to that, then we should comply with it. Kasi noon, we agreed, but it was kind of half-hearted. We thought the idea was correct and it will accomplish an important decision point for us, but we were half-hearted and we never followed through with the submission of information. Okay.
Mr. President, just some information related to that, considering that there are a lot of new official delegates now. Originally, the onus of objecting to some applications was on KBP. But several years ago, the board decided that KBP is just notified and that the KBP should not be objecting to any application. Otherwise, it might be objecting to its own members, against its own members. So now the role of KBP is just to inform the members that there is such an application.
Although, just to clarify, Reggie, if I recall correctly, when the SGV study was there in the I think late 70s, we did not even need KBP to object because the NTC had a solid basis for saying that, let's say, Butuan City can still accommodate 1 or 2 stations. In fact, when I joined the company, that was one of my first jobs. I prepared a feasibility study, and the basis of my feasibility study is precisely that SGV study. So it was, when I presented my information to the NTC, there was solid basis because it was based on a third-party information coming from SGV. And the NTC, approved that information. I approved the application on the basis of the fact that based on the study of KBP, another station, I think this was Iloilo, another station can be opened in that particular market. Okay, so it need not be KBP. If we have the information, we supply that to the NTC and the NTC can figure it out. Okay.
Father Betts is recognized.
Perhaps I can consider myself as what Reggie said a while ago, digital migrant. Because I learned many things from this the presentations of our resource persons, and I think it has been made on the floor that about our request to be furnished with copies of the presentation. And there were already commitments coming from the leadership that we will be provided. Tama ba, Mr. President?
Yes, okay. I just asked Leslie about that. Like this, yung kay Charo, we have our incoming EVP promised. She's going to give us a copy, and of course of Mr. Lopez as well. The presentation of Sandra Puno and Nicole, they have to edit it because there were some video materials that are proprietary and they have to edit those out, but they promised to give us a copy. The presentation of Manny, I think, is already with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just received the text from my ex-girlfriend, Sabi niya. She's willing to share her presentation with some edits. She ended the message with a ha. Sabi niya, please tell our friends I will, in exchange for industry favors that we will ask in the future. Ha. So she's willing to. Thank you.
We will talk about that. Okay, but Reverend, we were assured by all the speakers they will. I haven't talked to Matt, but I'm sure Matt is more than willing to share the presentation he had today. There was also even a request to include the President's report that I made yesterday, that I already gave the copy to Nessie. So what we'll do is to compile all of this, and we'll compile it in the CD, send it to all of you, or email it to you, whatever is more. But in fact, we probably should do both. No? We will compile the CD, send it to all, plus we will compile we will integrate all the files and email them all to you.
Yes, Mr. President, that is very reassuring. Thank you for that. But my problem is that this promise had been made in the previous 3 LMCs that we had. There were requests for materials, but and as far as I'm concerned, I have never received those materials.
Okay, I will, this incoming president, Erman and I will follow up from the secretary to make sure that it gets to all the members.
Thank you, po.
Mr. Valero?
Good afternoon, June Valero from Monster Radio. Just would like to say I support what Mr. Junipel has been saying about making representations with the NTC, and also I'd like to go back to the topic introduced by Mrs. Gosum. Over the past couple of days, our speakers have been saying that we have the aspect of our business that is online, on demand, mobile. That's the aspect that's growing now. And the traditional aspects of radio and TV, that's either steady or not growing at a very fast pace. And advertising budgets are really also not growing that fast. So we're pretty sure what's going to happen is that the online digital content and web is the one that's going to grow in the next few years. However, we're still seeing that there are applications in the NTC for offering traditional radio services in areas, especially in provincial areas. And we know that that's not going to be, these stations, most of them, all of them probably, will not be viable. And the applications with the NTCs, the feasibility studies are probably not well studied, at least, and probably they're of a pro forma nature, and that maybe we can provide them the information that we got from the industry speakers that we have yesterday and today. From the advertising industry, we have people saying that it's not going to grow. And we're still seeing all these applications with the NTC. So if I may suggest, Mr. President, that maybe President Niclao can convince the NTC that it is not growing anymore, and to be stricter with opening new stations, and maybe even provide the industry studies that have been given us by our industry speakers today and yesterday.
Okay, the suggestion of June is for KBP to make a stand and bring this to the NTC, that they should not approve any more new applications. Am I getting the drift right?
Well, at least if they will approve, it really should be well studied, and I'm hoping they won't approve anymore. But so maybe just use your convincing powers, Mr. President, and tell them the realities of our business. It's not growing. We're having a hard time, and if people come up to them and say that they're going to make money in these areas, like for example, there are applications very adjacent cities to Davao, for example. Many cities are applying, and many companies are applying to operate just right next to Davao City, or even next to Manila, even or next to Cebu. That most of these stations are not going to be profitable, based on our observations, and also based on advertising industry information.
Can I just ask our legal counsel to make a comment if that's legally viable, Reg, for KBP to make a stand?
Please note that the proceedings in the NTC are very technical and legal. And so observations of industry partners, so to speak, such as those presented earlier, are not admissible as evidence. They may be persuasive, but at the end of the day, that is precisely why we are asked to present 3 studies. The technical viability study, which is which will more or less either go or no-go an application, because if no frequency is available, definitely it's a no-go. So the technical viability, the financial capability of the applicant, and the financial viability, which is being referred to in terms of the industry situation. And that is precisely the object of a party objecting to an application, to show that any or all of these 3 are not met. So medyo technical, June, no? If we present, say, a testimony of Sandra or the presentation of Sandra, that's not going to be admissible as far as the proceedings are concerned.
Even for the persuasive aspect of it, I think it will help. And maybe if our KBP officers take it to the NTC, that's already a big help in getting the number of new stations. Even just the economic viability aspect of it, it's going to help.
Okay. Reg, can we recognize our VP for TV?
No, I think there are 3 issues we have to address here. The first issue is, does the KBP want to take a stand on this? So I think we have to make that clear and get a consensus on it. The second is, does the NTC care about what we think? So I think we should also know whether or not they will listen to a position that we give, and whether or not it's worth for us to submit a position. But having done that, if we determine that both are possible, I think we can come up with some sort of metric to justify a position, because we don't necessarily have to get confidential information from our members. We can get Nielsen counts on the number of ad times that are coming out, get an estimate of the costs or the prices of these ad times, make an estimate of the growth in terms of volume and prices, and make an estimate about the cost of operating the stations. So I think the metrics are really the last things we have to discuss. I think the first one is a policy issue on whether the KBP should take a stand, and number 2, whether or not it's going to be given currency by the NTC. That's my observation.
I think there's a follow-up from Diana.
I'd like to address this to our legal or to Atom. Is there a law which limits the number of stations that a company may operate? Because to my knowledge, we're allowed 1 TV, 1 AM, 1 FM. Apparently, Mr. Locsin was objecting to other applications where there is already an existing radio station or another new station in the same area. So may we be clarified as to the ruling or the law on that?
The 1 AM, 1 FM, and 1 TV, in each broadcast area, service area, is still being observed. The maximum of 5 is no longer being observed. So that's the existing rule now in the NTC. The 111 is observed, but the total of 5 is no longer observed. There was a presidential decree PD on that, but this was one of the decrees, I think, that was challenged right after the martial law was lifted.
Okay, any other issue that you would like to raise? Attorney Kapugawa, please.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Excuse me, Attorney. Attorney Rage, yeah.
There's a point of order because the chairman of the TV committee, Director Atom, raised a three-point matter, which is a matter of policy first. Whether or not the KBP would like to take a stand on a trying to limit the number of applications. Second is also whether NTC will accept it. But the first, I think, is a policy consideration. And I just want to clarify, as the moderator, would you want to pursue the first matter?
I don't know if this is something we can. I don't know if this is something we should. I think we have to get the pulse of each of our members, and I know that there are a lot of the fact that the members that are here now are active. We must not forget there are some members that are not here at the moment also. So I don't think we should put this at the floor at this time. I think it deserves some discussion, and then I think all the members should be asked as a poll.